Hey, kindergartners, it's Mrs. Seals back for our next science lab. So we finished up our unit on force and motion, and for the next couple weeks, we're going to be talking about what we call natural resources. And natural resources are things that are created by the earth. That's what natural means. And a resource is something that we use. So these are things that are created by the earth that we use. So the first natural resource we're going to be talking about is rocks. So your target says I can observe, describe, and sort rocks by size, shape, color, and texture. So rocks are solid mixtures of minerals that were formed in the Earth's crust. So rocks are made up of something called minerals, and they are part of what we call the Earth's crust, which is the outer layer of the Earth. So we can sort rocks in many different ways. So look at these pictures here and take a guess. How do you think these rocks were sorted? What do you notice that's the same about all the rocks in this picture, all the rocks in this picture, and all the rocks in this picture? I noticed that these rocks were sorted by their size. And what I mean by that is that I have all the small rocks grouped together over here, the medium-sized rocks over here, and the large rocks over here. So size is one way we can describe and sort rocks, and we'll be talking more about that in a minute. Here's another way we can sort rocks. Ooh, look at these pictures. How could we, what do you notice is the same about all of these rocks, all of these rocks, and all of these rocks? I notice that these rocks are sorted by shape. So over here I have rocks that I would describe as round. This rock I would describe as being egg-shaped, like it's shaped like an egg, and so are these other rocks in its picture, and these rocks are flat. All right, look at these rocks. Ooh, what do you notice? What's the same about each rock in these pictures? I notice that these rocks are sorted by color. I have all my white rocks grouped together, all my black and gray rocks, all my kind of reddish brownish rocks, and then these I would say are spotted. They look like they're kind of gray with some spots on them. The rocks that I have here in the science lab are all different colors. I even have some pink and blue and green rocks. And then the last way we can sort rocks is by their texture. This is what we would call a bumpy rock. Here I have some very smooth rocks, and then these look like they're very rough. So I'll show you what we're going to be doing in the science lab. If you're at home, you could participate in this rock activity. What you could do is you could make sure you have a grown-up and permission. You could go in your backyard or around your neighborhood, collect some rocks if you don't already have some, and then bring them back and see if you can figure out how you can sort them. Could you sort them by color? Maybe you could also sort them by size or shape or texture. Okay, if this is something you do, I would love to see it. Take a picture and send it to me. Here's my email address, and I'd love to see your rock collection. So the kids here in class are going to be doing two things. First thing they're going to be doing with their table group's going to get a group of rocks. I'm going to give each student a couple of minutes to kind of just observe the rocks, look at them, touch them, talk to their partner about the rocks and their color and their shape and their size and their texture. And then after that, the students will work with their table group to decide how they're going to sort their rocks, what they're going to sort them by, and then just actually sort them. And then the students will be choosing one rock to draw and color and then describe. So here are the rocks I have right now. I'll show them to you. They are all different colors. They have these little stickers on them. That's just because they came in sort of like a rock kit that's used to identify them, but I'm not worried about the stickers. I want to know, what are some ways that we could sort this collection of rocks? We talked about sorting in the PowerPoint I just showed you. We talked about how we can sort rocks by size, shape, texture, and color. So let's pick one of those. I'm going to pick color because I noticed I have several rocks that are almost the same color. I'm going to put all of those in a group together. All of these rocks right here are what I would describe as like a dark gray or even kind of a black color. All right. Then I noticed that I could maybe put these two rocks together. They're kind of a pinkish white color. These two I noticed are both like a lighter gray. I wouldn't put them with these rocks because these are lighter and these are darker. And then these might be by themselves. This one's it's hard to tell, but this one's kind of like a dark brownish red color. And this one's more of a, I guess it could be a pinkish reddish orange color. All right, so there I have sorted my rocks by color. I have my dark gray or black, my light gray, my brown, my reddish, and then my pink or white. Okay, so I've sorted them by color. I don't know if I could really sort this collection of rocks by shape, by size, because I would consider all of these medium-sized rocks. They're not small or tiny, but they're definitely not big. There are many rocks that are much, much bigger than this. So I don't know if I could really sort these by shape, by size, but that definitely is one way to sort rocks. They all look like they're similar shapes to me. This one's a little bit more rounded, but the rest really aren't. What about texture? I could definitely sort these rocks by texture. Remember, texture is how something feels. And in the PowerPoint, I just showed you that we can describe the texture of rocks by saying that they're rough, smooth, or bumpy. This will be difficult for you to do with these rocks because you cannot feel them. But again, you could do this at home with your own rocks. So I'm going to feel them. This one is rough. Oh, that one's a very rough rock. Rough. This one feels very smooth, and you can even kind of see it's very shiny and smooth. Another rough rock. This one's bumpy. Another bumpy one. Bumpy, rough, bumpy. So there I've sorted my rocks by texture. I have my rough rocks, my bumpy rocks, and my smooth rock. All right. Again, I would love to see what you come up with. I'd love to see if you have a rock collection at home, take a picture, send it to me, or if you create a rock collection with a grown-up at home, I would love to see it as well. And I would love to see the different ways that you can sort your rocks. All right. I hope that you had fun learning about rocks, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.